What's up? So I'm going to show some of the new stuff I got the past few days, and I guess then we'll see what kind of tangent I go off of, because that seems to be kind of the theme with these videos. I rewatched some of my videos, and I usually just somehow get off topic and just start talking about stuff. So we'll see. I picked up these. These are Boy Scout pants. They're really nice condition. They are the Boy Scout. I'll show you on the tag. This is nice because these are modern ones. The switchback pant. All that means is that they are convertible. They're zip offs. Okay. So any kind of Boy Scout stuff is always worth checking. Even the vintage stuff, you're going to find a lot of vintage stuff. Honestly, you would probably find more vintage stuff because Boy Scouts have been around for like 100 years. You know, there's just so much of that stuff out there. A lot of it is not worth anything. Some of it can be worth something. Like I bought last year, I bought a lot of just camp shirts, Boy Scout camp shirts from whatever campsites that somebody went to. It was someone's collection of them. I think there was probably like a dozen or so of these shirts. It was all just different campgrounds, Boy Scout logos on them and stuff. They all sold, not for a lot. Most of them sold for around 10 to 15 bucks a piece. But yeah, there's Boy Scout stuff all over the place. At Goodwill, probably a month ago, I saw like a little collection of them. Uh, but I obviously didn't pick them up because they were like $5.99 or whatever like that. And obviously it's not worth it if I was selling the ones that I had for 10 bucks. It's not really worth it. Then we got this pair of rag and bone men's jeans. These are the Fit 2 Slim, and they are in very nice condition. They're just very wrinkly, but they're stretchy, kind of button fly, real nice. Let me see, where's my pile? I got this one. I went to a thrift one day and I only got two things, but this was one of them. Honestly, like it was one of those days where like not finding anything, and then like you find one good thing and you should just like take that thing and just move to the next store or just go home. I think I just went home. But this is a vintage Carhartt hoodie. Let me see if I get a better vintage Carhartt hoodie. It has the logo embroidered on the pocket here, kind of in a unique placement. And the other thing that's cool about it is it has the double eyelets here. Pretty cool. And the way that we know it's vintage, Carhartt's pretty easy to tell if it's vintage or not, right? So granted that it has the tag, you can still kind of tell. Like something like this, I feel like the eyelets kind of give it away, because that's just not something that people do anymore with their clothes anymore. But if we look at the tag, right? We flip the tag. One of the biggest things you can look for, right? The older tags will have, oh my God, I can't get a good grip on this thing, right? So a lot of the older tags will have like a union made stamp, all right? Because they're union made in USA. But what we want to look at here, this is going to be so hard for you to see. This is more just kind of in general. There's a number up here, right? You can look up another YouTube video or something that I'll show you exactly how to do it. But there's a number up here, and one of these numbers will be a date, and it'll give you a rough idea of the time period that it was from. Pretty sure this one is either 2002 or 2006. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. See, that's the one thing that, like, you can be a nerd and try and figure out the exact date. No one's going to care. Like, no one is going to message you and be like, actually, I don't think that's a 2002. That's actually a 2006. Like, no one is going to do that. And the person who does do that, they're probably not going to buy anyway. They're probably just really annoying. And honestly, that's not a person I want to sell to anyway. But it's just a general guideline. All right. So, like, this way, I know I can put vintage Y2K, right? That's all I'm looking for. I'm not going to put in the title Carhartt hoodie 2002 or put in the description like this really cool Carhartt hoodie is from 2002. Like, I don't want to sound like the AI description, all right? It doesn't matter. It's just vintage. That's all you need to know. You look up the date or whatever. Is it vintage? Yes. Is it vintage? No. Okay. I like to push it out a little bit. I'm like one of those guys that will push out the vintage to like, I'll do like depending on what the item is. If it's like 07, 08, I'll still list it as vintage. Anything past 2010 is usually where I draw the line. You can yell at me in the comments for it. I don't give a shit. Then we got these Under Armour swim trunks. It's really nothing special about it. I'm just trying to make a point to pick up any kind of nicer quality, nicer condition swim trunks, as long as they are cheap. I'm just trying to like be a little more prepared for summer. And then on the opposite end of that, I got this puffer vest from the brand Hook fishing brand. I grabbed this because it was only $7.99. I thought it was a down jacket at first. It kind of feels like it would be a down jacket, but it's not. I just feel it just kind of feels like there's hardly anything in it. So I think maybe that's just the opposite of that. I thought it was like soft, fluffy down, but I think there's just hardly anything in it. I think it's just like very light polyester fill on it. But it's cool. It's got the logos on the front and the back. There it is. I was trying to find it. Sell-through was weird on this one. I almost didn't pick it up. If you look up Hook vest, right, the majority of the listings are all new with tags, and people just want crazy high prices for them. So, but then if you go to used, it's 100% sell-through. And I think what that tells me is that the demand is there, but the people listing these things are just asking too much money. So I think I have mine priced at 30 or 25 or something like that. Honestly, I might even lower it because I don't like, it's getting dangerously close to, be selling something like this and trying to get like a good price for it. Like this is like this kind of stuff you want to be getting out the door quickly. Like a couple weeks ago, I picked up a Polo Ralph Lauren merino sweater, and I remember looking at it, I was like, it's in really nice condition. It's like the modern Polo. I could probably turn this over real quick if I just list it for like 25, take an offer on 20, get it out of here. And that's exactly what happened. Like, we don't want to be stuck with this kind of stuff. Like, this isn't something that like I want to be stuck with. It's summertime and I still have a puffer vest. Now I have to wait, right? Then I picked these up. These are Lululemon men's pants. I think I showed these already. I don't remember. Lululemon men's pants. I don't know if I showed them or not. I'll just talk about it anyway because, I feel like you can't reiterate enough the importance of looking things over, right? So these are, right, just kind of like a dress chino pant, right? So if it doesn't have the Lulu tag, right? Number one, thrift stores, if they don't see a tag, right, that like they're not gonna they're not gonna price up on it. So these were $6.99. That's probably the cheapest price for pants that I see at Goodwill. Sometimes there's random ones for $4.99. I'm not really sure what they're doing with that. Like one time I bought a pair of Carhartt double knee jeans, new with tags, and they were $4.99. I don't know what they were thinking, or if they were just like, there's somebody back there who says, okay, you have to price, one good item out of the, 50 new things we're putting out today. You have to put, one item has to be just such a great deal that somebody buys it and then they tell all their friends, I found this amazing thing at Goodwill, right? I mean, that has to be a conversation back there, right? So like the one theory that I have is that they have a rack of vintage t-shirts, right? Because the area that I'm in, and probably all over the place, but the area that I'm in, everyone is such a fucking nerd for vintage tees, and so am I, but I'm realistic. I don't go to the thrift expecting to find vintage tees, right? But you get they're like, okay, roll out the new rack, and the new rack might have 15 clothing items on it, and they'll be like, all right, and just take one vintage tee from the vintage T-Rack and put it on the new rack with all like the bullshit stuff and roll it out there. And they do that maybe a couple times a day. Just work like, you know, a few good vintage tees in there, so that way the people filter in and out throughout the day, and you get these dumb college kids come in there and they come up, right? Anyway, so Lulu, right? This is Lululemon men's pants. Obviously no tag. It's just a good chance they're not going to have a tag. This one does have, here it is, has a little tiny tag with the logo on it, but that's it. No other branding, right? How did I know it was Lululemon, right? Number one, it's almost reading in between the lines, right? I saw this pair of pants. It didn't have a tag. And I said, well, if there's one brand I know that doesn't have a tag a lot of times because people cut them out or they rip them out, it's Lululemon. So when I see something that doesn't have a tag, that sends the light bulb off, right? So that's when I start looking, right? I want to look for the size dot, right? I want to look for it. I think it's in here. Let me just see. I pull out the pocket. I don't know. Like I can never find it. We got to look for the size dot, right? This video is running long already. I've already gone off on like 3 different tangents, right? So we're going to have to shut it down soon. I'm going to shut it down. Got this women's Figs scrub pants. Figs, right? Figs is just an extremely popular scrubs company. Probably the most popular. I don't know. My girlfriend worked in the medical field, and I mentioned something to her about like how I'm always looking to find Figs because it's really popular. And she's like, oh yeah, Figs is great stuff. So yeah, Figs scrub pants. Not a lot of money, but the sell-through is insane. And we got a Peter Millar quarter zip. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but it's just like kind of a nice, like kind of knit material. Kind of feels weird. It's one of these. I don't know if you can hear it. That's my dry hands touching it. Drives me nuts, right? And we have Nua tag. Well, sort of. It's like a half Nua tag. It has like the little sticker on it, but there's no like hang tag. So obviously I'm still listing it as pre-owned. I list everything as pre-owned, but it's cool. It's just a newer Carhartt flannel. I just figured like it's got the little tag thing on it. That'll help it sell. It's modern, like very recent. That'll help it sell. And it's super clean, right? Obviously probably wasn't worn. That's the only reason I picked it up, right? So we'll list it at like 25 or maybe 20. Get it out of here. And let me see. I think this is another. This is an old. Well, you know what? I'll talk about this too. This is all right. So this is this brand Panama Jack, and I grabbed these. I probably had these for about 90 days. It's just felt it was like some kind of like performance like golf thing. I don't really know why I picked these up. I think I just grabbed them because like I when I go through the men's pants, I feel for this kind of like performance material. And maybe at the time I looked them up and I thought the sell-through was good, or maybe I like screwed something up when I was checking the sell-through, because that can happen sometimes. Maybe like, you know, anything can happen really. But yeah, so these are like, I don't know. I don't want to say they're worthless, but like I'm pretty sure I have them for less than $10 and no one's looking at them. And we have just this little stack of t-shirts here. We'll just run through these real quick. And then we'll close out the video. I got this one actually just sold a couple minutes ago. This is a brand called Zero Foxtrot. Zero Foxtrot. They make like tough guy, like kind of military stuff. Like this is, I don't know. I don't really know I'm not totally sure what the demographic is. It's just like, it's like tough guy stuff. I don't really know how else to say, but I got 3 of these shirts. They do not sell for a lot. This one I thought was kind of cool because it's got the logo embroidered on it. They don't sell for a lot, but Zero Foxtrot Men's XL has if it doesn't have 100% sell through, it's incredibly close. And then we got another one of them embroidered. This is probably the nicest one, I think. This is here. You can kind of get a better look at the logo here. Yeah. And we got a Project Rock tee. You know, this is a really common one. I just had this one in blue. It's a long sleeve. It says respect. And last thing, this is pretty cool. So I saw this Nike tee, and I saw this right here, and I knew that it was some sort of off-white Virgil Abloh thing. But this is, and it has like this something in French back here. And I looked it up, and it is Nike, Virgil, Serena Williams, something. I don't know. But it's the Virgil that sells this one, right? So the way we look it up is we just go down here inside, right? And we have the tag inside. Nike's tags are usually like down inside. And then we check the style code. And that's it. It's that simple. We check the style code. All right. This went on really long, but thank you for watching if you end up watching the whole thing.